Basics of Biblical Hebrew Grammar. Table of Contents. Preface. Table of Insight. Section 1. The Basics of Hebrew Writing. 1. The Hebrew Alphabet. 2. The Hebrew Vowels. 3. Syllabification and pronunciation. Section 2. The basics of Hebrew nouns and nominals. 4. Hebrew nouns. 5. Definite article and conjunction verb. 6. Hebrew prepositions. 7. Hebrew adjectives. 8. Hebrew pronouns. 9. Hebrew pronominal suffixes. 10. Hebrew construct chain. 11. Hebrew numbers. Section 3. Introduction to Hebrew verbs and the stem. 12. Introduction to Hebrew verbs. 13. Perfects, strong verbs. 14. Perfects, weak verbs. 15. Infect, strong verbs. 16. Imperfect, weak verbs. 17. Verb consecutive. Verb consecutive. 18. Imperative, quotative, and jussive. 19. Pronominal suffixes on verbs. 20. Infinitive construct. 12. Infinitive absolute. 12. Participle. 23. Issues of sentences and syntax. Section 4. Introduction to the derived stems. 12.4. The defined stem strong verbs. 12.5. 24. The defined stem strong verb. 25. The defined stem weak verbs. 26. The PL stem strong verbs. 27. The PL stem weak verbs. 28. The vowel stem strong verb. 28. The vowel stem the weak verbs. 13. The hippo stem strong verbs. 31. The hippo stem weak verb. 32. The hopper stem strong verbs. 13. The hopper stem weak verbs. 34. The hippo stem strong verb. 35. The hippo stem weak verbs. Section 5. Reading and studying your Hebrew Bible. 36. Introduction to the Hebrew Bible. Page 5. Appendices. 1. Verb paradigms. 2. Diagnostic at a glance chart. 3. Summary of ending on 3 verbs. Hebrew English lexicon. Subject index. Preface. At the title indicates, the grammar represents the basics of biblical Hebrew. From the perspective of its authors, it represents the basic in the category of phonology, morphology, and syntax. Some will want more, others will want less. Nevertheless, this is our best judgment as what should constitute a basic one-year course in the biblical Hebrew. By design, we have minimized the introduction issue related to the historical development of the language and to the area of comparative Semitic philology. While these issues are interesting and at times helpful, often distraction and confusing to the beginning student and should be studied at the intermediate level. We recognize that a large percentage of those who study biblical Hebrew do so in preparation for some type of pastoral of teaching ministry. For most of us, therefore, the study of Hebrew is not only an academic exercise, but also an act of obedience in the fulfillment of calling to the ministry of God. We have been entrusted with the preaching and the teaching of God's word, and thereby with the oversight of His people, and thus the study of biblical languages should constitute a fundamental and a significant part of our training in general. The design of this grammar reflects both its scope basic and its primary audience, thus training for biblical ministry. Some of the most notable features is presentative are detailed below. 1. There are two parts to basic of biblical Hebrew, a grammar and a workbook. Practice and exercise has been located in a separate workbook. Basics of biblical Hebrew workbook, Grand Rapids, Donovan 27. The workbook contains exercise for each part. The workbook contains exercise for each chapter in the grammar. Located on John Donovan Resource website is the full answer key to the workbook, exercise, and the scripture indices. The answer key has been stored in the PDF format so that it may be printed and used and read. www.textbookplus.johndovan.com. 2. Toward the end of each chapter, vocabulary words are listed for memorization. The Hebrew word and their definitions were based on already a missions are students' vocabulary for biblical Hebrew and Aramaic Grand Rapid John Donovan 1984. The vocabulary of the grammar includes words occurring 70 times or more in the Hebrew Bible, excluding most proper names has been identified for the student in the workbook exercises. Several words that occur fewer than 70 times are included because of their appearance in the grammar of the workbook. Source out the grammar frequently reference email to statistical information in order to illustrate the significance or distribution of the counted item. For example, after each vocabulary word and its definition, we identified how many times the particular word occurs in Hebrew Bible. Statistical information is also provided for certain reflected forms, grammatical construction, and other similar items. Our statistical information is derived from the Accordance module BHS 44. We acknowledge our in-depthness to this software and its developers www.accordancebible.com. We have used this invaluable resource extensively in the production of both the grammar and the workbook. We recognize, however, that this database is not without error and have corrected in frequent error, being careful to check results whenever possible. We also recognize that this discrepancy with our statistical source do exist but have utilize the accordance statistics so out for sake of consistency. 4. After the vocabulary section of each chapter, we have included a brief study that is intended to encourage students in the study of Hebrew. Many of those studies are exegetical insight of biblical theological reflections with reference to specific Hebrew text. A few are devoted to observation on Hebrew words and phraseology. Others explore various aspects of Hebrew language that contribute to our understanding or interpretation of specific biblical passage. This study will often emphasize a point of grammar or vocabulary that has been studied in a particular chapter. A few are leading that we highlight selected Hebrew verses of a biblical text with a view to grammatical, theological, and exegetical commentary. This study have been written by pastors, youth leaders, graduate students, and professors. To them, we express our gratitude for their contribution. See the following table of insight. The mix of contributors with a different level of exposure to the language should be an encouragement that any level of confidence with the language can provide a better understanding of the Old Testament and enhance one's effectiveness in communication of biblical truth. We have been parsimonious with regard to the use of English punctuation so as not to clutter or confuse the appearance of the Hebrew script, especially the vowels and accent marks. This is more notable in our diminished use of commas, which would frequently obscure certain vowel. Additionally, we have chosen not to follow certain scholarly conventions with regard to capitalization and the use of italics and parentheses so as to present the component and concept or the grammar with greater exercise and clarify for the beginning student. 6. John Donovan's resource website textbook Plus has been established to provide additional resources to complement to grammar and workbook. The address for this site is www.textbookplus.com. 7. The Old Testament Hebrew vocabulary card app has been created for user iOS devices. The app includes the following feature. Over 1,200 of the most common biblical Hebrew words, pronunciation, sortable by chapters, frequency, and part of speech, we will alphabetically by frequency or randomly test your ecology with a quiz mode that tracks your progress. Go to JNDR VN here the app to get more detail or to purchase the app. There are a number of people we wish to thank: Jim Jumper, Philip, Boko Sabovic, Jason D. Lucci, Becky Jovoga, Von Kawashima, Mary Lewis, and Alan Tischler. We wish to express the word of special gratitude to Jonathan Klein for his significant contribution to the production of this volume, and John Beckman for his writing of section 9.20 and 33.9. We are also indebted to those who tested the grammar in its earlier stage. Donald Peter, Jason Bambury, Jack Clem, Alice Villa, Case Bardner, with Frank Villa. We are grateful. John Donovan for the assistant in the production and the publication of his grammar. We especially want to recognize Berlin, Borburgi, J. Kraft, Popular, Jody Dinit, and Needfield. Finally, we recognize and thanks Bill once for his encouragement and significant contribution to his project. Very practical wish to thank the trustee and academic administration of Gordon Conwell Theology Seminary for their many level of support and encouragement, including the sabbatical years that were provided exclusively to this publication. My event Pat would like to thank Professors John Halley of Azusa Pacific University for his profound investment in the unlikely student. I would also like to thank Lady and Martha Armistead for all their support and help. Most of all, I especially thank my wife, Lori, for her countless sacrifice and the enduring support of my calling. The Hebrew alphabet 1.1. The Hebrew alphabet consists of 23 consonant of letters. It is written from right to left. The first step in learning Hebrew requires that you memorize the alphabet in order. You will also want to learn the name of the Hebrew letters, how each letter is pronounced, and transliterated value of each. Aleph, Bet, Gimel, Dalet, He, Vav, Zayin, Het, Tet, Yud, Kaf, Lamed, Mem, Nun, Samek, Ain, Pe, Sajade, Kof, Resh, Sin, Shin, Tav. 1.2. Pronouncing Aleph Ain. We have just learned that Aleph and Ain are silent, lacking a phonetic value, while Aleph is indeed silent. The consonant Ain does have some phonetic value for English speakers. However, the pronunciation Ain of Ain is so subtly nuanced that for all practical purposes, we are considering it too as silent. When these two consonants are encountered in a word, neither consonant will have a phonetic value, only the assigned vowel will be pronounced. This means that if aleph or ain is assigned on a vowel, on the vowel will be pronounced at this point. Therefore, it is only important to know that aleph and ain are silent. Only the assigned vowel will have phonetic values. 1.3. As mentioned above, Hebrew is written from the right and left, not left to right. As English, in the following order, beginning on the right. Carefully study and memorize the 23 consonants of the Hebrew alphabet. Aleph, Beta, Gamma, Resh, Het, vav, zain, het, tav, yod, kof, lamed, mem, nun, samed, ain, pe, zade, kof, resh, sin, shin, tav. 1.4 Final forms. 5 of Hebrew letters have final forms, that is to say, when one of these letters occurs at the end of the word, it is written different than when it appears at the beginning or in the middle of word. The changing of letter form, however, does not change its pronunciation of transliteration. The 5 final forms are listed below. This final form must also be memorized. Remember that the Hebrew examples are written from right to left, whereas the transliteration of Hebrew example is written from left to right. Cup, regular form, cup, final form, cup. Example translation, roadway. 1.5 Begged carpet letter. 6 of Hebrew consonants have two possible but close related and pronunciation collectively. These are known as begged carpet consonants. This term is simply a mnemonic device allowing for the easy memorization of these 6 letters. Begged carpet to distinguish between the two pronunciations of dot called Takeshi. Their name was inserted into the consonantal character. Begged carpet. The presence of the begged carpet Rene indicated a hard pronunciation and its absence denoted a soft pronunciation. Takeshi Rene will only appear in the begged carpet letters. The student should learn the different pronunciation indicated below. You will also notice that each letter without a begged carpet lane is translated with a small horizontal line either below or above the English character. Memorize both the pronunciation and the transliteration. 1.6 Gutturals. 4 of the Hebrew letters are called gutturals. They are called gutturals because they are pronounced in the back of the throat. The guttural consonants are Aleph Ain, He and Het. Sometimes Reshi will also behave like guttural. For now, you only need to memorize which of the consonants are gutturals. Later, you will learn consonant rule that govern the use of this consonant. Easily confuse the letters. The beginning of a student, certain pair of the graphs of consonant can sometimes look like and become confused just as in English with the capital I and lowercase I. In the word idol, we have probably observed also the different Hebrew letter can sound alike just as English with a C in cat and the K is kite. In the order to avoid any confusion, it is sometimes helpful to compare the following characters and carefully note that distinguishing features. No need to memorize those consonant groups. It is only important that you are able to distinguish between the different letters and sounds. 1. Bet and Kaf. 2. Gimel and Nun. 3. Het and Tav. 4. Shin and Shin. 5. Final Mem and Samek. 6. Dalet and Lesh. 7. Sade and Ain. 8. Vavu and Jain. 9. Vavu and Final Nun. 10. The final Kaf and the final Nun. Hebrew consonant that sound like 1. Tet and Tav with Takeshi Rene. Kaf with Takeshi Rene and Kaf. Samek and Sin. 1.8. Transliteration. It is important to learn the simple system of transliteration present above not for the purpose of pronouncing biblical Hebrew, but for studying other books that refer to Hebrew words without using Hebrew character. Many commentaries, word study book, theological dictionary, and other language too do not use Hebrew font characters, but a translation system whereby Hebrew letters are assigned equivalent letters from the English alphabet. In most instances, this book will list the system or transliteration, the first chapter or section. Sometimes transliteration values are easily confused, so study the following transliterations carefully and observe the distinctions. Aleph and Ayin. These are the most unusual transliteration symbols. 2. He and Het. 3. Tav and Tav Takeshi Rene and Het. Samek and Jade and Shin and Sin. We will always want to review the different transliteration symbols for the Brigade Cafe letter listed in the 1.5 point. Remember that there is consonant without Takeshi Rene with a soft pronunciation have a horizontal line above the valued letter. 1.9. Numeric code values. Hebrew does not have a separate set of characters to represent a number like the English 1, 2, 3 act. Rather, each letter of Hebrew alphabet represents a numeric value, the consonant aleph, thought, and tav represent the number 1, 9. Consonant yod, thought, jade represent number 10, from 10 to 9. In multiple or 10, 20, 30, 30 act and is couple thought. Tav represent the number 100, 200, 300, and 400. Shin and Sin both represent 1300 for full representation of the Hebrew numeric system. See chapter Hebrew numbers. 1.10. Summary. Before you move on to the exercise for this chapter, be sure that you are comfortable with the following summary. When possible, treat the exercise like the quiz, not using your book to answer the question, then go back and make corrections with your book. This will give you an idea of the material you have mastered and the material you need to study further. Well, memorization, the 23 consonants of Hebrew alphabet, we able to write out the alphabet confidently from right to left. You should always know the name, translation, and the transliteration value of each letter. 2. 5 letters of the Hebrew alphabet. Kof, Mem, Dun, Pe, and Jade have a final form. Kof, Dun, Kof, Mem, Dun, Kof, and Jade. This must be memorized. Note that a final Kof we frequently appear with 2 dots. 3. 60 Hebrew consonants are known as vegetative capital letter. They are capable of 2 different pronunciations, hard and soft. These pronunciations are distinguished by the presence or absence of the vegetative capital line. The distinction in pronunciation and the transliteration must be memorized. 4. Four, four Hebrew consonant and coded glottal. Aleph, Ain, He, and Het. Remember that ratio may also behave like the glottal. 1.12. The Hebrew acrostic knowledge of the Hebrew alphabet opened the door of understanding to Hebrew acoustic or alphabetical sounds. These are biblical forms in which consecutive unit either linear verses or group of verses between with the sequential letter of the Hebrew alphabet. No doubt such a linguistic device provides a simple memory aided to listener whilst the communication, the intensity and the passion of the poet. For instance, the individual verses of PS from 9 to 10 point, comma 25, comma 34, 34, comma and 145 begin with the word whose first letter are, comma consecutively the letter of the Hebrew according to the sequence of the alphabet. Another variation occur in PS 111 and 112. Where each line rather than each verb begin with the successive letter of the Hebrew alphabet. The most elaborated acoustic biblical form is PS 119. This artistically shaped poem consists of 22 sections, each conference or 80 verse. This unit features 22 letters of the Hebrew alphabet within all 8 verses of a given unit, beginning with the same letter of the alphabet. As an artistic device, the acrostic uses both structure and content to express totality and completeness throughout everything from A to G or Aleph to Tav is praised regarding the quality of God, PS 111 and 145. The Just Man, PS 112, The Virtuous Woman, 531, semicolon, from 10 to 31, or The Beauty of the Law, PS 119. Conversely, the writer of the book Lamentations used the acrostic to communicate the complete sentence of grief of Jerusalem falls. What is notable about acrostic is that such an artificial scheme did not stand in the way of production literally of high order full of passion and thoughtfulness. Roger Vassi, executive pastor, Harbor Light Church, Fremont, California. 1.12 Advanced Information Tradition and Modern pronunciation. The pronunciation of the modern Israel Hebrew differ in a number of ways from what is considered to be the traditional and ancient pronunciation. So many different could be observed. The most notable difference involved the pronunciation of Gamel, Dalet, Het, and Het가 아닌데 Tav and by Bav in modern Hebrew. The three vowel consonant Gamel, Dalet, and Tav without Dakeshi Lene and France just like the form with Beged Lene, Beged 아니 Dakeshi Lene.